This is frustrating. Okay, here's how you play. And I don't know what the heck is going on. You have to. We're just waiting for XCAL. Here's how you play. I'm gonna take my face off the screen so we can fix this. So what you're gonna do is scan the code, and we're gonna play in the chat while we wait for XCAL. I thought I had this set up correctly, but apparently I didn't. So you see it in the bottom right hand corner. You just scan it in on your phone. And so I'm going to press start. So then y'all can play if you want to. And we're just going to do this until XCAL. Oh no! Come on. Sorry. I don't know what just happened. I'm really frustrated. Dang it. Sorry. No. I don't know what's going on. I tested this out earlier and now it's not doing it. I need to press start. I know. Oh my god. Every time. Okay, I've got a freaking... Of course. I will fix this in the beginning. I know. Just work with me. Okay, so you scan the code. I'm locking this so we can't move it. And I'm going to press go. And you have to like insert the answers into the live chat. So this one would be, I have no idea. Let me go ahead and try to put the live chat on the screen. Hello, everyone. We're just playing a game real quick while we wait for stool. Love it. So I think you need to do hashtag stool, maybe. Oh, Tanya got it. Good job, Tanya. All right, so the next round's coming up. So it's putting your name on the screen. Clown Town got lost. The dogs. Probably loot as well. But it's cool they put your names on the screen. Hello. I hope this is fun a little bit. I'm going to start doing it instead of doing like a... Jessica, good job. The dogs are having a heyday downstairs. Yeah, it's free. It's free. So it looks like there's a few seconds left. We're gonna do this for a little while longer. Tool, love it. Solo, Beth, what up? Loose. Okay, skip 3 levels. All right. Okay, let's play one more round. Continue. Oops. Continue. Hello, everyone. Okay, so this one, you can get the longest word first. Then we'll start in a second. Oh, let me go get a headphone for my dad, and I will be right back. Okay,
Are
that's
there
what I was
any
muted.
sounds going on right now?
No, I don't think so. Let me
Okay.
testing. Okay. Can you
Oh yeah, I hear you in my
hear?
headphones.
Okay, cool. We're gonna share a microphone. Let me go ahead and get to. Oops.
What are they playing?
It's a game that you can do on stream.
Oh.
Where here we go. Okay, you gotta scoot in a little bit. What's up, everybody? We got XCAL and we got. I need to get another light right here. Oh, we may have to just do without the Okay.
Well, maybe move that light more centered. No.
Yeah, but I can't get to it. I don't think I can.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll figure it out for the next or we'll just take the background off. That's an easy fix. Hold on. We'll be right back. Let me go to the new scene real quick. Okay, we'll be right back. Let me just put this down then.
Oh yeah, it's getting the shadow because of the green screen. Gotcha.
Okay.
All
right, now I just need to fix just to make sure that we're not green screen. Okay. The live chat should be, let's see. Close this out. The live chat's over here, Dad. Okay. Dave, what's up?
Gotcha. Okay.
I think we should.
It's really far away, like a mile.
I tried to make it as big as possible. Look, I made it bigger. Look, XCAL, look.
Okay.
Look how big I made it.
There you go. That's really good. Okay.
God. Oh my God.
That's what happens when you're old and blind.
Oh my gosh. Hello. I don't know what we're reacting to, but I think XCAL needs to reintroduce himself since we haven't streamed in a while, and that's definitely my fault.
I'm a professional carpenter.
Yeah, I told him that's you've been on a construction site pretty
That's
much.
Right.
So
yeah, in my upstairs game room, built some risers and been doing a bunch of other stuff, getting back into our home here in wherever we live. Yeah. What are you supposed to say, huh?
I don't know. Depends
Top
on how
secret stuff.
No.
Holy moly! Come on. Come on.
Okay. Well,
no, actually, my background is business and management and sales and all that kind of fun stuff. And DeeCee and I have talked before on the stream about multi-level marketing and all of the joys that everyone's received participating in that.
Oh yeah.
No? Oh, yes.
The immense amounts of joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes the less joyous times, as they might be.
Let me move this so you can.
Occasionally.
There you go. Now we can. The chat's not on your face.
Okay.
There you go.
But in any event, glad to be back. I'm glad to come out of exile.
I didn't exile. It's like, every time it's like, where's XCAL? Where's XCAL? Where's XCAL? Where's XCAL? He's right here.
In fairness, XCAL's been traveling a bunch, going to do a lot of things. But now that the holiday season is here, we're back in our locale, and we have DeeCee right here.
Here's some music picked just for you.
No.
What was
No,
that?
I don't know what it is. Oh my God. Hey Siri, stop. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't. Here we have some new comments came in that thank you for liking the stream. Hey, XCAL, you've been away too. I've been baking a lot. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess baking can be dangerous too.
Yeah.
Carpentry and carpeting and things like that can be dangerous when you're dealing with some of the stuff that we were dealing with. So it was fun.
So it was just, I throughout the week, my mom is sending me pictures of the progress stages of these risers that XCal's building.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Past tense.
built, they're done. And he is uninjured. And so is my mom, which those are all wins. So she sends me a picture, and XCal's underneath these risers, and the corners are being held up by cement blocks.
Yeah, they were pretty heavy. It was about 300 or 400 pounds.
Yeah.
I was hoping it wouldn't fall on me.
Yeah,
not
and
that I can't lose some weight, but that's not the way I want to lose.
Oh, we don't do diet culture here, though, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. XCal may need like a Spark Notes.
Yeah, I guess
a crash course
notes or whatever. Spark Notes is kind of like new school. Crib Notes are old school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You had crib notes?
Yep.
Like, what does
Allegedly.
crib stand for?
Allegedly.
Oh.
They were just notes that weren't exactly approved by the powers that be. Not that I ever used them.
Oh, okay. Not that you ever did anything on the other side of the law.
Nope.
Never.
No, not me.
Yep. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Do we have a sex bot?
A
No.
what?
We sometimes sex bots get in the chat to spam
Sweet.
us. Oh my gosh. My dad has been building a clean room at our warehouse. Our staff loves him.
Oh, very nice.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
That's awesome. So, I don't know even what to say. Oh, and this is important. XCal and I do not share the same opinions about multi-level marketing.
In some cases we do. In some cases we don't.
Because you don't think that all multi-level marketing companies
I don't think they all came
pyramids.
from hell. No. No.
I wasn't gonna say hell.
Oh, heck then. Whatever.
No, we can use the cursey words. Mom
I don't
says
really
it.
have. I think by and large most multi-level marketing is designed to prey on people that don't really understand business and how things work, and so there's a lot of extra information that needs to be passed along. But I don't necessarily think that they're evil incarnate, if that's what you mean.
Oh no, I don't think they're evil incarnate, but there's a lot of. So, what would you say is a pyramid scheme?
A pyramid scheme. Well, now I don't classify multi-level marketing as technically a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is something like Barry Madoff or this new guy with the FTX stuff.
Yeah.
What they do, where they're literally taking money from people and spending it for their own good, and the people are literally pouring their money into something getting no return. The reality is, in my mind, there are some returns that come to the people at all the different levels of multi-level marketing, although the folks at the lower levels can sometimes put a lot more in than they get out. So having said that, it's in the true definition, it's not really a pyramid scheme as defined by the laws of the United States. But on the other hand, I think any situation where you misrepresent or share less than you need to about something in order to entice someone else to come into it, I think there's an issue there, and I think that there are a lot of multi-level marketing companies that allow their independent contractors to say and do pretty much what they want to do in order to be able to recruit new people, because the bottom line is the more people they have, the more income that comes in, and that in and of itself isn't necessarily a good thing.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Is that okay to say? Do I have to go sit in the corner now that I'm not?
No, I'm just waiting for the smoke detector to go off because my channel might be on fire. But I'm just joking. No,
I know. I don't have the. That's true. They are the original Ponzi scheme, and Bernie Madoff and the FTX stuff is that's probably a more accurate. Pyramid schemes are ultimately well. Let me back up. Businesses, by and large, function as pyramids. In other words, there are few people at the top and the bottom. There's the resources move up in that business, but theoretically, theoretically all levels of the pyramid have income coming to them in a business. And in pyramid schemes, the goal is for the bottom people to support the top people. And so I think that in some situations, multi-level marketing qualifies there, and in others they don't. I mean, you have some multi-level marketing organizations where the people on the front lines, if you will, sell a lot and are, I guess, certain downlines, not necessarily the whole company, but there are certain groups of them that are very successful, and the people are encouraged to sell and not necessarily build up inventory. And in those situations, I think it probably falls outside the definition of pyramid schemes.
Okay. Melissa said FTC classifies, I guess, some MLMs as product-based pyramid schemes because even though they have a product, reps make way more money from recruiting than from sales. What do you think about that?
Well, the bottom line is you don't make money unless you sell something. Somebody has to sell something in order for the money to come in. So unfortunately, in a lot of multi-level marketing companies, what they're selling inventory to people in the front line, and that's not necessarily a viable long-term plan for a business. In other words, eventually the inventories top out. And so unless you're selling to end consumers who actually use the stuff and like whatever it is you're selling, then that's not viable long-term. And I think that's where so much of the dissatisfaction comes in, is ultimately you can only have so much stuff in your pantry and in your extra bedroom and whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
You realize, hey, my bank account needs to have some love too, and
Yeah.
it can't keep going out and not coming in.
Yeah. So I think I've asked you this, but have you ever joined a multi-level marketing company?
So I guess technically when I was in college, I was a part of a multi-level marketing company. The Southwestern Publishing Company in Nashville. They've been around since 1868, and they recruit college students to sell books during the summertime. Now, the college students sell lots and lots of books, and the organization is also very successful. If you recruit people for that company, and that organization, I guess, depending on who's looking at it and their definitions, they might qualify that as multi-level marketing, but it's really a college student organization, and the business itself was very successful, and it spun off a number of very successful businesses that now do insurance and training and consulting and recruiting and all different kinds of things. But yeah, I guess that's a multi-level marketing thing. Now,
Okay.
I've been pitched by lots and lots of multi-level marketing companies over the years, starting with my time when I was with Southwestern, when you'd come around in the summertime and meet people from Amway or wherever it was. I mean, there weren't a lot of the new multi-level marketing companies weren't around back in the, back when we were riding on Conestoga wagons and stuff like that. But but seriously, Amway was big back then. Mary Kay was big back then. There were probably some others that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. And so I heard pitches every summer. Everybody wants to. Everyone has a picture because they say, oh gosh, here's this guy who's selling door to door, and so he'd be great for fill in the blank.
He can talk himself into people's
Sure.
homes. He's going to be great
Yeah.
at. So
Exactly.
I think we're probably opposite in how impressionable you are and how impressionable I am. What?
Okay.
I'm like at 100% join rate for being pitched MLMs at this point in my life.
Yeah.
What stopped you from joining another multi-level marketing company?
Well, first of all, there's only so many hours in the day when I was in the summertime selling books, and that was my priority. I worked 14 hours a day. I wasn't really going to be focused on something else. And in addition to that, I had more than enough on my plate. The other thing I think is my BS meter was fairly high, and I'm not. Whenever someone tells me that there's a something for nothing, you don't have to work really hard, and you get all this money, and I just, it just doesn't pass a smell test for me.
So what,
And I know how hard it is to recruit, and know how hard it is to sell from that perspective, and I know that none of the stuff that they're saying was necessarily accurate unless I was willing to put in lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of time and effort and energy, which I certainly wasn't opposed to doing. But I didn't want to sell soap and I didn't want to sell makeup, so that wasn't really what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Maybe if they gave me DeWalt tools, I might have done that.
Yeah, as your like quarterly, like if you sign up this many people, you're not only going to get your commission, you're going to get the quarterly
a new reciprocating saw.
DeWalt tool
that's
prize.
Right. That's right. Here's a grinder, and there's a new planer coming out. Okay.
So if there was a woodworking,
I'd be all in. That's I am a sucker for new tools.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I don't think there's any woodworking multi-level marketing company, so
either.
There may be room for you in the market, and I can make negative videos about you on the internet.
Like you call and say bad things about your parents. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't be okay.
Yeah. Maybe not. Oh my god. So I don't have anything for us.
We're
to
just kind of
react
winging
to.
it today, guys. I mean, really, we have nothing to talk about other than say hi and be happy that everybody's online.
We're shooting the shit.
A multi-level marketing for pretty much everything. Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
There's a diamond painting one. There's insurance multi-level marketing. There's health and wellness.
Go figure.
There's sleep spray for kids.
What?
There's Q Sciences. Their main product is this sleep spray with
melatonin. I wish I'd known about that. A spray that would put your kids to sleep.
Yes, and that's what the point of the
That's
the
what I was
point.
missing out on all those years.
God. Thank you not for medicating us to get us to go to sleep. Oh.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, bugging me. I'm watching football. Here's a sleep spray. Yep. That's right.
Yeah. Oh my god. But we've heard them say, like, I just give them a lot of sprays and then they can all go to bed at the same time. If you heard that from another parent and they were being dead serious, what would your initial thoughts be?
I would just think I needed to punch him in the forehead or something like
okay.
that. What a knucklehead. Give your kids sprays so they don't go to sleep at the same time.
Yeah. Let me see. Someone asked you a question.
Oh, they did, huh?
I think they did. Let me see. Did you also walk 15 miles to school uphill both ways in the snow?
15 miles. That was like that's what we had to do for recess. Come on.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
Okay, let me see. Live chat, throw your questions in. We'll ask XCAL some, and then I'll make sure to have something to react to when we stream to the next one.
7 cards.
Y'all, why am I such a horrible potato? I have 7 cards going on for Christmas and haven't pulled the trigger and bought anything yet because I'm like, I wonder if Macy's has this cheaper. That's a good question. I think XCAL and my mom do Christmas shopping on
here's our
Christmas
deal.
Eve.
We buy it, and if we find it cheaper, we'll just bring the other one back and buy it again.
You and mom find really good deals.
It's a ready,
on
fire, aim kind of a marketplace right now. It really is.
Is that how you ended up carpeting and padding and building the risers yourself because of the money y'all saved?
I don't know how much your chat really wants to hear about my misadventures in carpentry, but my wife came to me, DeeCee's mom, as she's known here in the stream.
DeeCee's mom.
And she said, "Hey, what do you think about?" We have a pretty big upstairs game room in our home that we couldn't sell, and so she said, "What about turning it into a home theater?" And she always has this look in her eye like, "Oh, this will be something really easy that we can get done in, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes." And 7 days later, we're finished with whatever the project was. So, but she talked about a home theater, and I said, "Well, that sounds pretty cool." And so when we were visiting another one of DeeCee's siblings, we went and talked to a home theater store, and they were talking about all this high technology, and we were falling asleep. Seriously, it's all pretty cool stuff. And so she went online and found some chairs that were radically overpriced and beautiful, and they're supposedly coming in by wagon train. They'll be here sometime 2 Christmases from now. And of course, if you're buying more than just one row of chairs, you have to think about the height and being able to see the screen. So I said, well, let's look at possibly, I don't know, building some risers and seeing how that goes. So we went to Home Depot and bought some non-dimensional lumber. I don't know if any of you know what non-dimensional lumber is. Dimensional lumber is what really good lumber yards sell, where they sell you a 2x4 or a 2x8 or whatever the case might be, and it stays straight and true because they've kiln dried it. Home Depot and Lowe's don't do that. They sell you wet wood that the goal is to keep it straight in the car on the way home because by that time it's already warped. And so building our risers out of non-dimensional lumber from Home Depot, it took a little bit longer than we thought. Good news is I have lots and lots of pipe clamps downstairs, so we were able to get it done. And then I wanted to get it carpeted, and I found out that the carpeting for those two small, well, not small, medium-sized risers were going to be more than I thought it would be. They told me one guy told me it was going to be like $800 with a $150 trip charge to come. And another guy wouldn't even give me a bid on it. And I said, forget it. I'm just going to go ahead and figure out how to carpet it myself by going on the internet. So
Yeah. So we did that.
the only problem with that was the fact that the risers are fairly heavy. And I'm an old geezer. And I don't deadlift 800 pounds anymore. So it was an adventure. Let me put it that way. With our 2.5-ton SUV jack.
Yeah.
and our concrete blocks that we were using to get it up so we could get underneath. In any event, I'm safe and sound. We built the risers. They look really, really good if I do this to myself. And so we were speculating on how much they would have cost if we had bought them. And we think it's somewhere in $3,000 or $4,000 range. And the good news is we've spent less than $800 for everything. So that was good. XCAL, I've got some kitchen cabinets with metal hinges. They're bent in the door wobble suggestions, and don't say get a trade-in. Are the hinges bent or are the doors bent? If the hinges are bent, you can buy new hinges, and that is worth it, and it will stop any wobble that you have. If the doors are bent, you're SOL. You have to go do something different.
But there's a way to also tighten hinges too to fix
There are, but if the hinges are bent
Yeah.
in that situation, you probably need new hinges.
Yeah.
And the good news is you can get hinges at any good wood store, and you can get the soft close hinges now. They work fabulous. It's well worth it, the time and energy to go put new hinges on.
I'm sure New Zealand does have those hardware stores, but they might have different brands than
Well,
Home
they have his
Depot.
cabinets in New Zealand. I didn't even know they live in houses
Oh
over
my
there.
God. Okay, Dave, he's joking.
I'm joking, Dave. I'm joking. I'd love to visit New Zealand. I've seen
Yeah.
pictures, and I mean, who hasn't seen the movies, right?
Yeah. Here's another. Let's see. XCAL, any tips on insulating a walk-in closet? There are 2 walls facing outside. The room is a bit bigger than a full-size bed.
Insulating a walk-in closet. So is there's sheetrock on the inside. Insulation is, you can buy insulation at really any decent store. I mean, even Lowe's and Home Depot have tons of insulation to buy. Obviously what you should do if you're thinking about doing a walk-in closet and not losing any size in there is to go in and rip out one of the walls of sheetrock, put the insulation in. Now, are you insulating it for sound, I'm assuming? Because inside closet doesn't need insulation as far as warmth of the room and that type of thing. But sound insulation is something to consider. 2 walls facing outside the room is a bit bigger than a full-size bed. Yeah. Insulating is super easy. Once you find the insulation material, it's just a matter of sticking it in the opening between studs and putting sheetrock back on there. But it is a time-consuming and messy process as far as pulling the sheetrock down.
Yeah. But there's lots of good YouTube tutorials too on
absolutely.
like taping and mudding after you have to put it back up and stuff like that.
And
so.
if you find someone good a good sheetrock person, they can come in and do that in a day. It really is a no-brainer if you have to do that. Just the hinges, yep. Absolutely. So if it's just the hinges, then Dave, I would absolutely go ahead and address that with new hinges. They're not super expensive.
XCAL, we live in Hobbit hole.
Hey, if that were the case, I'd be there already. I would love that.
Oh my gosh.
Those round door hinges.
It doesn't have those openings. They drywalled without sheetrock when it was built.
Okay, so just so you know, interior walls don't need to be insulated. They're the only reason that you put insulation between in walls is when they face an exterior wall. So that's the only time that you have to have insulation in there. If they're interior walls, they don't need to be insulated because you don't have any heat loss from one room to the next. Um, so that's the reason why they put in insulation. And so if you ever go into a new home that's being built, then you'll see the insulation all on the outside and also on the ceilings that face the attic and any walls that face a garage. But you don't have any insulation on any of the interior walls. So if you want to do insulation on an interior wall because of sound or whatever the case might be, my wife and I did that in this home that we live in now. We insulated the wall of our master bedroom that faces the living room from a sound perspective. So we used sound insulation as opposed to the insulation that you necessarily put in on the outside wall. You can use that, but there's better insulation for sound insulation. Can I get an XCAL consultant? My kitchen remodel. Tell me when to even start. Send pictures, girl.
Yeah, you have my number. Send them to me, and I'll show XCAL.
We'll be happy to talk to you about that. Absolutely.
Lynn, don't iron your fingers this time.
We're actually, we actually have started a multi-level marketing for remodeling. Is that right? No, that's not right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something else.
No. It's where we buy the tool for full price, and then we charge someone 3 times that amount.
Exactly.
And so then that other third is used to pay out the upper levels for commission.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And you get, instead of a car, you actually get things like health insurance for cutting off your fingers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. None of this advice. None of it. So let me ask you a question. In your entire career in sales, did you ever have a blood feud with one of your sales members? And if it's okay to share the story on the internet, what about what started the you don't normally have beefs with people because you just talk to them, but has anyone had one with you, or maybe did some part of the integrity or the ethics of a fellow salesperson rub you the wrong way, or we need some tea.
Good question. There certainly have been times when things are brought up. I'm usually not one to hold back my feedback. In other words, I don't walk around with things inside for long periods of time and then just all kind of explodes out. I'm more of one that if I see something going on that I'm not necessarily supporting, that I would be bringing it up at an appropriate moment. So I tend to address issues as I see them, or not necessarily right when I see them. Depends on who's around, but I'll definitely get someone one-on-one and talk about something that I see in a fairly prompt time frame. Okay. So I can't really remember any blood feuds. I mean, there's obviously situations where you don't necessarily agree with everybody that you work with, or you don't get along, and that's okay. It's you don't necessarily have to go home and be besties and have lunches and dinners with them to work with them. So I'm not really the one that has those really knockdown dragouts. Although I did, it was that way with my best friend when we first met.
The one that the kid, the same MJ.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he's from Texas and I was from up in the Northeast, and we hated each other in the beginning. I think the hate was more on his side than mine, but that's okay. We had some shouting matches and arguments, and now we're best friends. And they have 5 kids, and we have 5 kids, and we've been friends for about 40 years. Only place you can buy that totally non-reverse left-handed hammer. That's exactly right.
Okay. What about what is something that you would bring up if you were in a sales position again? What would be something that you would want to speak up about? Because you don't really get irritated by superficial stuff.
I do get irritated by incompetency and ineptitude and lack of communication. So the organization I was with recently, there were lots and lots of conversations that I had about their inability to do the things that they say they're going to do. And so there were lots of conversations, lots of dialogue. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears. which is why I don't work for the company anymore.
We're streaming full time now. Everyone in the live chat.
Yes.
Yeah, XCAL's full
She
time.
just doubled my
now.
salary.
Yeah. Yeah. And IOUs, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, we're working our way up there to split the ad share. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. Because I can't really remember stuff that you'd get irritated with us. Now, here's what I would say. Having to repeat yourself if you've already communicated something, not necessarily being not willing to answer questions, but if you asked us to do something and it was understood how to do it, you having to ask us again was a thing. Lying was a thing. Not saying sorry. Or I'm just trying to say, like, they seemed like big ticket things. Like, hey, if we get this right, you're gonna be pretty fully functional human.
There you go.
You know, don't be a douchebag. Kind of like that same.
So this is XCAL parenting evaluation.
Yeah.
Stream. Is
Yeah.
that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's you're a good parent. You are. I've tried to say that. I know, you know, it's
So my if I have two or three overarching rules for parenting, one is make sure that your kids see you apologize to them when you're wrong. That's important because it's hard to ask them to apologize if they never see you apologize, and they have to learn that even parents can be wrong sometimes, and always take a time out before you do any kind of discipline.
Yeah.
That was a good thing too.
Oh, what's your third one?
The third thing is make sure that you know who you're talking to when you're dealing with the issues you're dealing with. So I had five children. I love them all. They're all great kids. Now they're all great adults, and I dealt with each of them very, very differently. Sometimes to the frustration of others of our.
Oh yeah, I was on the frustrated side for sure.
Yep, because there were certain siblings that had to be, their behavior had to be addressed, but it had to be addressed in a way that it got through their, that they understood it, and it wasn't the discipline wasn't necessarily always approved by the group.
It was more like, what do you mean it was a 4-hour counseling session? What the heck? Where's the video games thrown in the trash can? Where's the toys in the trash? I'm just joking, but...
Oh, come on, Jane. Here's my favorite.
Heck no. That's also one of the good things. Growing up, I see lots of, because we react to a lot of social media influencer, MLM people, and at least on stories, sometimes it's very clear which child is the favorite. I didn't feel like you all did that at all with us. Maybe you did, and don't tell me because I don't want to know. But
What, that we had a favorite?
Yeah.
And we treated people? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think you did. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm saying, if you're like, well, then we did a really good job because y'all don't know who our favorite is, but,
We didn't know. We love them all.
Yeah. But some parents...
If we didn't, we would have given them back,
Oh, my God. XCAL is on his best behavior right now.
I really am.
I told him to keep it PG downstairs earlier, and they said, "Oh, I'll just save it for the live stream." I'm like, no.
I'm a little bit saltier when I'm in chat than when I'm, because here, I feel like I'm more accountable because I'm part of your stream. But when I'm in the chat and I'm typing away, I can be snarky.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
XCAL's on his professional salesperson mentality. Like, his persona right now is very, I don't know. What's the right term? I'm trying to think. XCAL gets sassy and snarky and a little sarcastic, and he can dish it. No, yeah, you can dish it. You can dish it out. But you.
Sassy?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. You totally can.
Okay, I get it. Typically, it's really it has to be in situations where I feel like it's appropriate, meaning that somebody deserves to get roasted.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Understanding your capability to roast people,
Uh-huh.
What do you think is a good boundary to have commenting on videos and Zoom calls and training and stuff within MLM? Where would you draw in your mind the boundary for behavior you'd think is like a good place to stop?
Okay. So to me, I mean, everyone's always got a dog in the fight in this MLM thing, and I get that.
Yeah.
So I think any time that you want to get personal with people and comment on things like what they're wearing, what they look like, their height, their weight, their age, their race, those kinds of things, I think that should not be anything that is ever brought up. I just think it's not. I want to treat people like I would want to treat my kids, and I'm fine with teasing my kids and joking with them and talking about things. And if they brought up something I didn't agree with, I would certainly argue with them about it. But I would never have those things get personal. I wouldn't want it to be personal. And I think that's the same thing here. I don't think I'd want to say anything on chat that I wouldn't necessarily say in person.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people feel empowered and emboldened when they're typing away or when they're commenting on somebody else who doesn't have the ability to be able to respond back. I think that we have we've been okay. So first of all, I need to back up. I'm a Christian. Some of you know that. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but
oh yeah, no, you're allowed to. They know.
And so I'm accountable to a higher power for the things that come out of my mouth, and so I need to be kind even in the midst of maybe critiquing or criticizing things that I don't agree with. Did that? Is that we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. But everything else is a no, especially superficial things. I think it's okay. Talk about their behavior. Yeah.
Behavior as it relates to their business as opposed to personal behavior.
Yeah.
No.
I ordered a dad like XCAL, but on Wish, so could be waiting a while. Wish is like a counterfeit, off-brand. I don't know.
She said that, or he said that, but he doesn't know about Clash of Clans.
Oh yeah, XCAL loves to video game stuff too. He plays Clash of Clans.
Most of you probably don't even know what that is.
Though there's lots of gamers in the chat. Beth games, Lynn games. I don't know if Janet does. Sky does. So Nintendo, computer games, cool. World of Warcraft. Oh, Savannah does World of Warcraft.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't think Savannah's in the chat right now though, but yeah, she does that too. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, here's a more complex question. Let's say we're reacting to Beachbody, okay? Mm-hmm. And there is a super trainer who really pushes a very controlling kind of diet that falls under some of the potential categories of eating order dislike behavior. So, with your conditions about, with like not commenting on people's bodies, but talking about the behavior, is there an ethical way to say, hey, this could be dangerous and here's why?
No, I absolutely think it's totally appropriate to address those kinds of things. I think that's, I think, you need to be all in because unfortunately, some of these quote unquote experts that really aren't experts, they spend hours talking to a camera on YouTube and think they've split the atom or something like that. I think in those situations, you absolutely, it's fair game to be able to come out and call their BS BS. I think any time that you're talking about those kinds of dietary type issues and you're not dealing with it in a one-on-one situation, talking to someone about their specific situation and asking questions to understand and having a background to know how that can treat them. I think there's tons of caveats that have to be involved, that has to go on there, and frankly, I think that's fair game in terms of talking about that kind of behavior.
So,
Can I have that last donut?
yeah, what are you talking about?
I'm just making a joke about making a diet joke. Now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Sometimes I need help
Come
with
on,
the.
get with it.
I'm
here,
sorry, I'm
kid.
trying. Hey Emma. Hey Sky. I'm trying to think.
See how I've kind of gotten down to so that you're like a little bit taller than me here.
Yeah, I need to
So,
lower
you
my
know,
chair down
yeah.
here. Let me see.
No, that's
Oh God, wrong one.
okay. We're back.
I'm stuck.
We lost DeeCee. Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Oh, literally every time on my stream. Like, I thought I fixed this last time.
Hold on.
User error.
Sure.
How do I make it
Because
shorter?
you're not even in
Oh,
the shot
okay.
there. There we go. We act like each
Here,
other.
there we
you
go. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. What's up? Okay. Yes, Dave is the leader, the cult leader of the donuts and potato crew. So
Dave.
if you're good, he gives you donuts, and if you're not good, you get potatoes. Which is
I'm
still
really
a
okay
win-win.
with either one, Dave.
When XCAL's in a folding chair, we may need to get him a cushion for next stream.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Pretty soon I'll have my Valencia chairs and I'll be
Yeah.
able to.
He's never gonna leave him again.
It probably won't.
Yeah.
Surgically implanted. Yep.
Let me. Okay, here's a question. What do you know about cults?
I know relatively little about them, other than the fact that what I've read about from different articles on. I mean, I've heard and seen results of cults. We're in Texas, and so there was
The Waco.
the Waco incident. The folks, Manson, his group, the folks that all killed themselves with the poison down in South America. It's very very 50,000 foot level. I'm certainly not the expert on cults.
So about understanding a little bit of them, like the getting people to do things at scale.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with your more of your like limited knowledge or like you understand to a point because of real life things that have happened that you're aware of, but do you think that influence / that type of control can happen in other organizations like like churches or multi-level marketing or
Absolutely.
fraternity? Here's a question. Would you say fraternities and sororities are cults? That's what Emma asked.
They're organizations. If you're going to say, can an organization have cult-like aspects of their behavior? The answer is they can.
Hey,
I
Christina.
don't think in and of themselves, just because they're a fraternity or sorority, qualifies them as a cult. I think cult takes it goes down a very much a darker road.
Sure.
Although I think that sometimes behaviors, hazing behaviors, things of that nature, are certainly inappropriate, and they show up in all kinds of groups.
So you're the type of person, in my opinion, that doesn't get sucked into things a lot.
I'm not really a joiner.
Yeah, you're not a joiner.
No.
So for people who are joiners, do you have any tips or things that help you? I mean, one, you're very logical and you're well read and you're smart. So I'm not saying people who join are not smart, but I'm saying like there's a process that you think through lots of things.
Yeah, I think smart people can be in multi-level marketing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with intelligence.
Right. But I'm just saying for your process of how you have talked yourself out of joining these kind of high control type of group or like groups like that, because you've been pitched a lot. What are there like steps in your mind that you go through to think through something, or is it naturally like, oh, that's a hot word, I know that's not true based on my experience, so I know that like it's a red flag?
Okay, that's a really good question. It's really a multi-part question because it addresses lots and lots of things. I think in any event we have to always you always have to filter it past your personal experience, and if you have any personal expertise. I think a lot in many situations, not all, but in many situations in multi-level marketing, people are filtering in an area that they're not expert in, business, selling, et cetera, et cetera. And so they are, um, they're, they have to default to something else. Does it sound good? Are they, and there are situations where someone is there, they really need a lot, they need some extra money, or they have a need for something in that specific situation, and they feel like it might be met by this group, or, um, sometimes it very much can be a situation where the leader is very charismatic, and the people listening, are sitting there like little bobbleheads in the crowd saying, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be they can go to literally find themselves signing up on something that they go back home and say, what did I really do? But no, from my perspective, I have a personal filter. I also have a filter that I feel like I'm called to filter in terms of what are really the important things, and what are the things that I need to be spending time on. And when you guys were growing up, one of the filters was, do I have time to spend my time with family and work and the other things I have to do, and then also have anything else above and beyond that. And sometimes you just have to say no to things, even if you like them. But I think I'm too logical of a person sometimes to be, and I also sometimes will listen to the people that are telling me these things, and I'll be asking myself, okay, I know where that person's been and what they've done, and now they're telling me that that they're in a totally different place. And frankly, most situations I saw with people that were in multi-level marketing, a year or two later, they're out.
Yeah.
It didn't stick. It wasn't really what they said it was. They were caught up in the fervor and the enthusiasm and the spirit of the moment, and
Yeah.
there were no lasting impacting changes that happened as a result of them being a part of this new, different, special, best of the best ever company.
Yeah. What do you think would be someone's biggest deciding factor for someone to leave a group like that? What do you think?
I mean, why would someone leave?
Yeah, why would someone leave a okay, let's say you join a group and you're in and people are nice to you, and you also have relatively positive experiences with the actual people. You come together and it's a positive environment, and you feel like you're strengthening your mind and your perseverance and all this other stuff.
And you're making a lot of money?
Sometimes. Sometimes and sometimes no. So is it more like...
And I'm not necessarily as money, but if people are encouraging you to spend more to participate, that's a warning sign. It should always be a warning sign. At some point in time, if you're doing something that's supposed to be helping you financially, and you're having to pay to participate in that,
Yeah.
then that's not kosher. That's not a job. That's not an opportunity. That's what's called a black hole. Just if you like to do that, just gamble. Spend your money betting on soccer or football or whatever.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in too many situations, the money goes in and doesn't come back out. There's no accountability, if you will, to evaluate how am I doing.
Yeah.
Am I accomplishing what I thought I was going to be accomplishing in the first place?
Yeah.
And so, at the end of 3 months, if I've spent $8,000 and I've made $3,000, I didn't make $3,000.
Yeah.
And this whole, unfortunately, this whole funny money financial accounting that gets done sometimes with multi-level marketing, where, oh yeah, I've made $12 million in the last 5 years. Well, if you've made that much money, then show me where it is.
Yeah.
Because I think that too many times people are allowed to hype that, and there's no accountability for that number.
Yeah.
Why is quitting okay?
Yeah. So in MLMs, and for example, in sports, there's lots of times where like you're pushing through to the end of the match and you're trying to pull something, if you're tired or if it's been a long match like in tennis or whatever, and you're trying to not I don't know, you're trying to dig deep and keep going, and there's lots of that language used in MLM situation. I feel like
you're
a little
quitter. You're not following. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're listening to the negative people, whatever the case might be. It's just manipulation. I mean, the bottom line is it's manipulation. I mean, other situations where people potentially should press forward on some things, yeah. But if you're, if you've got responsibilities to a family and you're spending more money than you're making, then at some point in time, reason has to come to the forefront. Yeah. You have to get to a point where you say, no, this isn't okay. It's not okay for me to spend $3,000 a month on this.
Yeah.
And then have to worry about, paying for my kid's school or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
I mean, leaving, it's one thing to quit emotionally on a person. It's another thing to leave a company because you're not being financially successful. That's okay.
Yeah.
You're not a bad person if you do that.
Yeah.
Your bank account will love you for it.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Oh my god. Emma said, "What's your favorite memory with DeeCee as a kid, and what was she like as a kid?"
My favorite memory with DeeCee as a kid. DeeCee, first of all, she's adorable. I mean, she was just adorable. She always was. I love, one of the things I loved about DeeCee is that she always needed to know what the schedule was. always needed to know what the schedule was. So every night, she and her sister, she has a sister who's about 18 months old than she is. And we'd put them both to bed and tuck them in, say their prayers and stuff like that. And the last thing that DeeCee would ask me every single night, or ask her, DeeCee's mom, is what was for supper the next day. And it wasn't because she ate a whole bunch. She didn't. But she needed to know what was the plan for the next day, that we weren't going to go into the day unplanned. Oh my God. And poor DeeCee's mom, it would drive her crazy. She's like, that girl, why did she ask me? I don't know. But she wanted to know what was for dinner every day. Every single day. As soon as we finished up prayer, she said, what's for dinner tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow? What's going to happen after school?
Oh my God.
Am I right or am I right?
You're right. I being older now, I can see how that would be insanely annoying to be asked that every night.
It's okay.
So nothing has changed. Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. I do like a plan. I do like knowing exactly what is going on, and I'm infinitely happier when I know what to expect.
What to expect.
Yes.
She is.
Oh my God. I will tell you one of my favorite memories with you. I think I was maybe in first grade, and you had picked me up early from school, or you'd picked me up and we were going to the Dollar Theater to go. I don't remember what movie it was, but like you brought me my hat. We had our hats backwards. I was wearing my flip-flops. And I remember when you used to walk with your flip-flops, they used to like snap. And so I tried so hard to make my flip-flops snap. Just the same. But I just like, that's a memory. And also, when the Tennessee house, before it burned down, but when I was younger, we had never lived in a place where there was snow. This is not a good memory.
Oh, God. I know.
Okay, so XCAL and my mom got some sleds, and one of them
we were
was
up there with our friends.
Yeah, the friend that the friend of me that turned into a bestie for XCAL.
Yep.
So we got some sleds, a plastic like toboggan, and a metal saucer.
The little saucers, those little
metal.
Little circular saucers.
It's heavy, and so there was a steep drop off the back of the thing, and
it was on a mountain.
Yeah. It was steep in the back.
It was.
And I didn't.
And then we had woods right
Yeah.
past the open space.
Yeah. So there's like it's steep, then there's a drop off, and it's just trees. So I sit down, because I wanted to figure out how to get on the sled before there were tons of people. I sit down, and immediately, as soon as like the metal made contact with the snow, I was going, it felt like 70 miles an hour, but I wasn't. There's no way to stop. I shoot off into the air, and I start hitting the tree, just tree after tree. And I was stuck in the snow. My mom is yelling at XCAL because XCAL is trying, and she's like, "Stop laughing!" And my dad can't even breathe. He's like trying to like step into the snow to come in and get me, but he's also laughing hysterically. And that is, having your dad come get you out of the snow when you're like, your arm is absolutely wrecked by hitting every single tree in the forest. It was just not it wasn't fun. I also
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, so we learned some about laws of, I don't know, physics on that day. So, oh my god,
that was hilarious.
Okay, let's see. When you resemble each other quite a bit when you're both laughing. Yes, we do. My foster son asked me the same thing every night. Just last night, DeeCee was like, "Jessica, do I have a meeting in the morning?" I suppose nothing has changed. Oh. Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Metal sleds are fast, and I found that out firsthand, unfortunately. Oh my god. Let me see. I'm trying to, I mean, there's a lot. Oh, okay. XCAL is super smart. And I don't remember when you started like doing this, but he would write out clues. Like if we had a birthday or if friends would come over, XCAL would draw a map, and then he'd write each clue to lead you to another spot to find the next piece of the map and the next clue. So we would be playing, and then it would time to open presents. And it took us sometimes a good long while to be able to do the riddles and put all the map together. Because if people brought presents, then they'd be all hidden in the safety spot. But then you started doing it for almost all of our birthdays. But I remember that was a highlight. There was a birthday highlight for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun thing.
Oh. Oh, here's a question from Emma. What did XCAL think when you were in Young Living? Did he try and warn you of red flags he saw? Oh.
Emma, that's a good question. I try to let my children do the things that they want, and as long as it wasn't going to be morally objectionable or physically dangerous. Then if they ask for feedback, then I would give it to them. But I wasn't going to be nagging or critiquing or, it's hard enough just to do whatever you're doing, and that doesn't have to do with multi-level marketing, raising your kids, whatever the case might be. So I tried to be encouraging, and I tried to be uplifting, and there were a number of things that DeeCee was excited about relative to some of the different things that she was doing in Young Living and in Mary Kay, and we wanted, my goal has always been to just support my kids in whatever they're doing, and so I did not jump in with both feet and say, hey, here's the downside of all the stuff that you're talking about. Now, if they want to talk about that, I'm certainly more than willing to give them my opinion. But I'm not going to be, I did not jump in and critique that and create, the other side, if you will. If that wasn't good, then that's what shame on me.
Well, no, I would say even XCAL saying he'd give us his opinion. I don't think I've ever remembered any time in my whole life where XCAL gave a very strong opinion this one time. Don't call something gross if you haven't tried it, and just because you don't like it doesn't mean that someone else won't like it. Mm-hmm. that was a strong thing that XCAL said. That's the only time I remember you saying like, or stop making excuses was another one. But even in Mary Kay, XCAL asked those like mirroring interrogation, open-ended questions where you end up getting in trouble and serving 40 years in prison type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like XCAL, he's like, well, what do you think about it? Or what, like that stream we did when you were talking about some questions you can ask for people who are in multi-level marketing. XCAL, like even when we would, I remember saying to XCAL a few times, I just want to know what you think. I don't want to answer any questions. I just want to know what you think. Because I wanted I'm impressionable. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to, I don't know. I just wanted someone like that I respected to just tell me what to do. And XCAL, I don't think has ever said, other than like you need to look both ways before you cross the street. This is how you cut something with a knife. And then don't say something's gross if you haven't tried it. That's all I remember. Did you tell us other things that I forgot?
You just boiled down 30 years of being a dad to, 3 things.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's lots of people in the live chat, or I've heard other people's, like, parent-kid stories, or you hear them online on these, the Instagram or whatever, and they're like, oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And it's like, you're more of, like, just be aware of, your body and where you are, and can something like you were saying, if we were gonna be physically harmed by something, you'd speak up. But it was more of, here's how you handle a dangerous sharp object. Here's how you jump down off of a tall rock without hurting your knees. Here's how to it was more of a, hey, you're probably gonna get in really dangerous positions, possibly. I mean, I'm scared of everything, but you might, so here's how to be safe if you end up there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Always be aware of when you're walking to your car in the dark parking lot. Have your key in your hand. Don't be texting or doing something on your phone. Be looking around. Or if you have your phone, you can call, you know what I mean? Like, it was more of that stuff. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I don't like that person you're dating. So, because you could have said something for some of the people I dated. Slow blink from XCAL. Yeah. So I think that's good, but it's something that I didn't like growing up because I wanted, like, to be a robot, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want, the one thing that's important for my kids is that I felt like was that they should be thinking for themselves and working through these issues, because ultimately, once they're, DeeCee's age and her siblings' ages, they're not going to be running back and asking me questions on what to do. So I felt it was much better to teach them how to reason through and how to evaluate those kinds of things for themselves than looking to me to be the shell answer man for them. Somebody asked a question down here about, did I look up on Mary Kay or Young Living when you were involved in that?
Yeah.
And I was pretty familiar with Mary Kay. I knew a lot about Mary Kay as far as that's concerned. It's been around for as long as I have, like 150 years, I think. And not really, but she's an old lady, and so am I. She passed away. But and so I know what multi-level marketing things are and what they do. I wasn't as familiar with the ins and outs of Young Living, but DeeCee, sent us oils and stuff like that, and we had one of those center things that blows fragrance in the air, and it wasn't unethical, it wasn't immoral, it wasn't illegal, and so she has the freedom to do the things that she wants to do.
That's as good of an answer as any. I'm sorry about the signal, guys. I had to put it on ultra low latency for the game at the beginning.
Old geezer network here, so that's the problem.
Yeah, so it should fully render at the end. That's how I'm raising my kids, Celeste.
Her kid's only 21. Yeah, right there.
Dave is good for the ego on the chat for sure.
There you go.
I only dated one guy my parents didn't like, and bless them, they didn't say anything until I broke up with him.
Yeah. Actually, as parents, we don't. There's lots of kids our children date that we don't necessarily like or approve of. But hopefully, you've raised your kids well enough that they make good decisions when they're on their own.
Okay, let me ask you a hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say one of us was getting to the point where marriage was on the table. I'm already married, but I'm not talking about me. Let's say that the person they were going to marry was there was major red flags for you and mom.
That would be something that
would you speak up in a direct way?
We would.
Okay.
Very direct.
Okay.
Yeah. If there were those kinds of situations, we absolutely would.
Okay. That's good to know. I think there's likes my ex more than my husband. I'm sorry, Jessica. Jessica's got a tumultuous relationship with her mom, except it's non-existent. But her dad actually passed away last year, so it's been a rough go of it. But okay. I think how long have we been streaming for? Oh, 1 hour and 14 minutes. So we're going to probably end the live, and we're gonna find something to react to whenever XCAL's free again, maybe tomorrow or Sunday or something, mm-hmm. and we'll get his opinion on what the heck's going on in the multi-level marketing circles. So if you have any good videos, recommendations, I'll find something, but if you have something for us to react to, would love to do that with him. Thanks so much for the great questions and making XCAL feel so welcome, and thank you for not burning my channel down. I appreciate it, as always, So, and if you're on my Discord, I'm going to send a picture of the platform that XCAL built and carpeted and stuff. So, hope you have a great Friday night or whenever you're watching this. Replay crew, much non-culty love to you, and we'll catch you on the next live stream. Bye.
Later, folks. Good night.